Greetings, brothers and sisters around the world. It is I, Comrade Zero. I have returned. I speak to you from underground in the United States of America in the winter of 2013. There has been a spark of optimism that has come to this blighted land of ours as a result of the re-winner of the quadrennial horse and pony show that we call the presidential election. But I must say, President Obama, in his inaugural speech, gave a speech of great promise and hope for progressive causes. He openly talked about the climate change situation. He openly talked about gay and lesbian rights. It was wonderful to hear. Now, whether he can actually pull it off or not, because we know the situation in Congress is not proper to get all of these programs run through, but I've had many of my friends and associates now actually feel somewhat hopeful for the future. Of course, the other side, the reactionaries, absolutely loathed it and called it, oh, it's the rebirth of liberalism in the United States. Well, I'm not aware that it died anytime recently, but now, with a man in his second term, it allows for focus. Now, I have spoken to you about this before, that we need to get this president to focus on these issues and move forward. He's not just going to do it because he wants to do it. We have to make him do it. We must make our voices heard, whether it's by protests, whether it's by marches in Washington, whether it's contacting your lower level representatives. These sort of things tend to work upwards. We must keep the wave going. We can't just sit back and expect miracles to happen, because miracles don't happen. It takes hard work and perseverance for change to happen. But change is coming. Change will continue. But even now, the side of reaction has attempted to undo the effects of the election. Notoriously, a number of states that are controlled by Republican chambers, these reactionaries want to reapportion the Electoral College votes to base them on who won in congressional districts. This, of course, would change the balance totally in the Electoral College. But this is a schemy, nasty way of trying to change what the voice of the people want. After all, you can make districts all you want in a given state, and you can make 20 little districts in a state that has a heavy rural population, but just give 2 or 3 districts to the urban centers, thereby squashing the voice of the majority of people who live in more heavily populated areas. This is the worst kind of undoing of Democratic and Republican processes. And I don't mean Republican in terms of the party. I mean the Republic as an ideal. This is silencing the voice of the people. Now, I know there's always going to be people that are going to disagree with progressivism, and not all of them are fascists and Nazis or evil people. They just have a different idea. But let's face it, the reactionary party can no longer win elections just by gathering this unholy coalition of the wealthy, fiscal conservatives mixed with religious zealots and truly dangerous right-wing neo-fascist reactionaries, which do exist in this country, but let's face it, they are not the majority of the right-hand side. But they have a big voice on that side. And there's a struggle going on over there, and we need to take advantage of this. While they're fighting over the soul of their party, we need to move forward. Now, Harry Reid did not do us any favors. The Senate Majority Leader did not change the filibuster rules. I don't know who he's cowing to. I don't know who or what he's responding to, but they had a chance to force filibusters to be an actual stand-up filibuster. You have to stand up and talk to hold the floor. The rules were changed back in the mid-70s to allow filibusters just simply be announced that the intention of a filibuster was going to be done. And without a supermajority of 60 or more, that pretty much silences the debate. Harry Reid chickened out. I never thought he was the strongest man anyway, but he should have stood up and made some change so the Senate could move legislation through without having to worry about getting 60 people to make a decision. This freezes decision-making in a republic. It's not democracy. It's still playing and kowtowing to powers that we did not elect, that do not represent us. This requires more pressure. And it's pressure that we, the people, have the mass to do. That's right, you and me, brothers and sisters, we can do this. As long as we have someone who at least pretends to be a progressive in the White House, we can continue to make changes. Now, I'm going to be leaving you now. My message wasn't long this week, but it was insistent. I know I've said these things before, but we have the opportunity. That time is now. We cannot wait for some future when things will be better, because things aren't getting better right now, but they have a chance of not getting worse. So Comrade Zero will now leave you with the following words. Workers of the world, unite! You have nothing to lose but your chains. You have a world to win!